Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today is Friday night, and on Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we do mini readings. So you can choose from an astrology reading, or you can choose from tarot oracle card reading. Today I'm going to be using the archetype cards, and I'm also going to be using the Gene Keys cards. So if you are wanting a reading, the way you get on the list is you click the link in the description of the video. It'll take you to my PayPal, and then you send $25 to my PayPal, and then I'm going to add you to a list that I have right here in front of me. And when it's your turn, I'll let you know, and then you can put up your question in the chat. So that's how we do it on Friday nights. We do have one person on the list so far, Christy. If you are watching, let us know that you're in here. And while we wait for Christy to come in, I'll let you guys know of some amazing epic stuff that is coming up. How is everyone doing? By the way, we had a very powerful Sun conjunct Uranus transit, and we have some really fun activities coming up. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. And hello, Raven. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So this next week, we actually have an eclipse, a full moon total lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. We're like about a week, a little bit more than a week away from that eclipse, but this means that this entire week that's building up to it is going to be magnifying the energy, and anything that has to do with Scorpio has to do with some heavy stuff. There's so many things going on. I want to share some of the cool stuff with you that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of months. Literally in the next 2-3 months, there's a ton of things that you can get involved with. So one of them is I'm leading a 30-day cleanse with Shannon, and it begins on May 30th or 31st. See, now I'm getting all my dates mixed up. I think the 31st. Anyways, if you want to be a part of the cleanse, if you want to join us for the cleanse, then send me an email, send me a message somehow, let me know, and we'll get you set up for that. We are going to be supporting you guys during the 30 days, meeting once a week, sending you weekly emails with recipes and different mantras and practices to help support the cleansing process of your body. So it's a really good time to cleanse during the spring, and it'll get you ready, reset for the energy of the summer, which we'll actually be moving into while we're doing the cleanse. That's one thing that's coming up. The other one is I just had a meeting yesterday with a couple of friends of mine who I've known for a long time when I used to live in Colorado. And we are planning a workshop to learn how to use gua sha, which is an ancient technique. It's like lymphatic drainage technique for the skin, the face. It's facial treatment, face and the neck. And so we are going to teach you how to do this gua sha technique. And we will be talking about this specific product that is right now being sold in a little bundle with the actual gua sha tool from doTERRA, and it's actually a miracle worker for your skin. Like, it is amazing for things like wrinkles and all that stuff, like swelling, like anything. You can do so much clearing of your face and the skin on your face and your neck if you actually do this gua sha technique with this specific product. So that is going to be coming up. And so we're going to go live next Tuesday to talk about the workshop and how to sign up and all of that good stuff. So actually, I think it's going to be so much fun. Okay, the other thing that is coming up. So today, I actually just got done having a meeting with Roden from Balmy Spirits, and we are planning our retreat. We are going to be putting out the details and launching the link to sign up on the 20th of May. The retreat will be happening July 28th, 29th, 30, and 31. And the whole theme of the eclipse is going to be the Lion's Gate, the energy of the Lion's Gate. And we will be doing the retreat in Sedona. So it's going to be freaking amazing. I can't wait for that. As soon as that's ready, we will let you guys know. And we're also going to be going live on the 17th of May to talk about the retreat. We'll be going live on my channel, so you can check that out if you're interested in joining us. It's going to be the first retreat we ever run, the first retreat I ever run, and then the first retreat she ever runs, and then the first one we ever run together with someone else. So I'm really excited about that as well. As you know, we're just 1 week into the Moon Goddess training, and I know that there's people that have been asking me about it, and there's still time to sign up if you want to join us. So the Moon Goddess training is a program that I run. It's basically a year-long program, and what it entails is 3 levels. Level 1 is 9 weeks, level 2 is 9 weeks, and level 3 is 9 weeks. And what we do is, for level 1, we learn the fundamentals of how to understand ourselves astrologically through the gene keys and through the goddess energies, goddess markings in the chart, the moon centers. We learn the fundamental alchemical components of ancient Atlantean philosophy. We go through the ancient Atlantean initiatic path through the temples along the Nile, and we learn so many things about how to live coherently with ourselves, including sacred geometry, the 7 hermetic laws of the universe, the 9 dimensions, the 12 systems of the body, how to work with emotions, what emotions are. That's such a big part of our whole program. And it's just phenomenal and such a beautiful way to find community and to also meet others that are interested in these topics if you really want to dive in. But the whole goal of the Moon Goddess training is to become a certified Akashic record reader. So level 1 is learn the fundamentals. Level 2, we go deeper into the actual practice of it in our lives. We begin to embody these practices in our daily lives. And then in level 3, we learn the techniques of doing Akashic record reading, Akashic record journeys, and all of that good stuff. So it's a beautiful way to give yourself an opportunity to learn a whole new skill and to really change and transform your life, because really that's truly what it does. The other thing that's going on is I'm also doing an event on June 13th, which is in Sedona as well. It's going to be the full moon event, full moon in Sagittarius ceremony. There's a hike in the morning, and then in the evening we are going to gather and do a full moon ceremony together. It'll be amazing. It'll be in Sedona. If you want to join us, spaces are limited, and 3 spots have already been taken. So if you know you're going to come, then don't wait to sign up. I will post the link in the description, because I don't think that I posted it in the description yet. But you can get to it through my Instagram at Channel for Grace, the link in my bio. You can find it there. And you can also find it on my website when you go to online courses.channelforgrace.guru is the page that you go to, and you click on Sedona full moon event, and it'll be right there. So there's so much, and there's more, and I'm like, oh my God, am I going to go on and on and on? Let's do some readings. Is Christy in the chat? Are you in the chat? Because I know you are the one on the list. And after that, the list is open for anyone that wants to get on it. Hello, Game Crusher. Welcome in. Hello, Morning Star. Welcome. Rebecca. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Trust the process. Welcome. Valerie. Welcome. Good evening. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day and a week so far, and that you're excited about this weekend. So I want to go, but I'm having back surgery May 31st. Ooh, yeah. So definitely. So the event is going to be, definitely an outdoor event. Hello, Mindy. Welcome in. It'll be an outdoor event, and it'll definitely be physically active. So we'll be hiking a hike that it's probably going to be like a 2-hour hike. And it's pretty inclined. It's a pretty good incline. So it's definitely something that you want to make sure that you are able to participate in. If you want to join for the event. Otherwise, you'll miss like a big chunk of it, because the morning hike is a big part of going to the vortex. And then the second part in the evening is basically it's like there's about an 8-minute little walk / hike to the spot, and then at the end of the day we are going to be up there until the stars come out. So when we come back down for those 8 minutes, we are going to be actually walking in the dark. So I just want you guys to know everything that it entails, and all that information is also on the page. So make sure that it's all good. You're good to go. Okay. I don't see Christy Thompson in the chat. Raven says, I've never trusted this much in my whole life, feeling the pressure for sure. Never trusted what? Hello, April. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So we're waiting for Christy. Christy's she got on the list, and I don't see her in here. In the chat. So if you are, you have to let us know in the chat so that we can actually do the reading for you. And you can do astrology or tarot / oracle. And until like someone else gets on the list, I'm just going to keep yapping away like I do. Dawn says, got my headlamp. Yeah. Dawn, you went inside the pyramid. You're not going to have any trouble. Hello, Maria. Welcome in. It's going to be so much fun. I literally can't wait for that. That is my very first live event in Sedona. So I can't wait. What else do we want to talk about? You know what? I'm gonna put some essential oils on. I'm gonna lather myself. Let's see. Let's put some citrus bloom. If you have not tried citrus bloom from doTERRA, it is freaking amazing. Yeah, that was dark. I can imagine. Hello, Raessa. Welcome in. This smell is like divine. I don't know what it is. It's freaking divine. And we just got someone else on the list. Jordan. Oh, trust in myself, trust in life, trusting in the unseen, praying for myself every day. Yes. It's amazing, though, when you start to live like that. Literal miracles start to show up in your life. All right. So now we also have Jordan, Lucky Love, on the list. So let's go ahead and start with you, love. And whenever Christy comes in, then we will do reading for her. Yeah, there's only 2 people on the list so far, Maria. And I can feel it. It's going to be some good ones tonight. Here we go. One more. Now we got Sherry. Sherry is also on the list. You will be after Jordan. Alive, thrive. All right. Awesome, you guys. This is exciting. Here we go. It's about to go down. Who's coming to Sedona, man? Who is coming to Sedona? Yes, I can totally do that, Jordan. Okay. So, here we go. If you're going to get an astrology reading, you can have me look at your natal chart. I recommend that if you've never seen your natal chart before. If you're kind of familiar with your natal chart, then there's no point in doing that. So the other options would be a transit reading, progress chart reading, and I kind of have been like looking at both of them, honestly. I kind of just look at both of them now. I used to just like do one or the other, but I can just look at all of it. So that's the other type of reading where like kind of like looking at the current energies. And the other option is a synastry reading between you and someone else. And you want to look at the synastry between the 2 people where one chart is juxtaposed on top of another chart. And the other option is the oracle card reading. So the more of intuitive channeling reading. Dawn says working on Sedona trip. Awesome. The temple journey is lining up with exactly what I need to work on. Someone else just got on the list. Maria is on the list as well. Okay, kind of want to know about my love life in the next 6 months, if you could do that. Mindy says, Dawn, she's doing okay. Thanks for asking. I love that. I love that she's still meditating. That's so sweet. So, well, what do you want to know about your love life? And then I can figure out what kind of... Usually for that kind of stuff, I would do an oracle card reading. And here's why. Okay, we got one more. Okay, so Raven is also on the list. Let me just make sure that I have all the correct names and the order. Yeah, Raven is after Maria. Because here's the deal, Jordan. When it comes to relationship, oh, there's Christy. That's awesome. Yay. Okay, so Christy, you're going to go after this reading that we're doing for Jordan, okay? So you're after Jordan. So here's the thing I will say about that. Is that those sort of predictive readings are not really my thing. And here's why. Because what's going to happen is going to happen. Now, what I can help you to understand is what are the themes right now that are affecting you in your life. And when you understand those things that are going on in your life and affecting you personally in your own chart, both looking at your progress chart or looking at your transits, you're going to be able to understand energetically what internally you're going to be experiencing. And the other thing is, if you want to know more about energetically what are the things that are going to be coming up, I would suggest, like I said, the oracle reading, because those intuitive readings are actually can give you more symbolism into a lot of that stuff that's going to be coming up. So that's basically, I don't know if what I just said was clear, but basically, if you want to do that kind of reading, I would prefer to use the oracle cards. If you want to understand what energetically is going on for you, you know, in your chart, so that you can have a better understanding of how you're going to experience these transits, and also how you're going to basically what area of your life, looking at your astrology chart, what area of your life is going to be highlighted. That's going to help you to understand what to focus on. So I'm going to throw it back at you. And if you want me to answer that question, I will answer that question, but I'll do it with the oracle cards, not with the astrology. The astrology is much more of a personal thing. And it is possible that, you know, your relationship house is being really affected astrologically. And so, but we would only really be able to tell if we're actually looking at a chart. So it's up to you, but I can't guarantee, obviously, that that's the focus. So I don't want you to be disappointed if I pull up your chart and your chart is like, your relationship stuff is not the main concern right now. The main concern is this. I don't want you to be disappointed. That was a long-winded answer, but you let me know what you want me to do. And if you want to get on the list, you can do that by sending $25 to my PayPal. Okay, yeah. So I feel much more comfortable answering that kind of a question with the oracle cards, because I can just receive, messages much more easily in that way. So let me... I want to use one more deck of cards here. Let me actually use the astrology cards. Actually, I'm annoying. Just tell me what my chart says. That's hilarious. Okay, so then I will need your date of birth, time of birth, and location so I can pull your chart up. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of straightforward when it comes to those things. In terms of relationships, it really depends on what is in the astrology, but it may not be relationship related at all. And that's the thing, is that we like to get fixated on certain things, and a lot of times, unfortunately, in our world, we get fixated on other people. And my whole thing, everything that I teach is that the other person, whatever relationship you have in your life, is actually a reflection of what's going on within you. And everything is a process of understanding yourself. Nothing has to do with the other person. So if you get fixated on the other person, you're wasting your time because you need to focus on yourself. How the relationship will show up is based on how you show up for the relationship. And then whatever reaction anyone else has, any other person has to you, that's their thing, right? It's not, that has nothing to do with you. But it's hard, it's difficult because we don't look at relationships in that way. We really like to focus on the other person, and we really want to like be certain about how things are going to happen. The only way you're going to be certain is if you know yourself and you know your boundaries and you know what you want in relationships. And when you are clear about those things, which you can only be if you know yourself at a deep level, which is what I teach, you will have difficulty in any relationship, because the relationship is not based on what the other person does or says. The relationship is based first and foremost on you and how you're perceiving the relationship and how you are behaving in the relationship. And to be aware of how you behave in relationships is when that's when you start to put the mirror up and say to yourself, okay, this is what I'm bringing into it. So this is what's going to come out. This is what I'm going to get, is what I'm bringing into it. So let's pull up your chart and take a closer look at what's going on for you. I think that'll give you a much more, it'll give you much more value. Let's just say that. Okay, so here we go. I'm done like saying a lecture now. Okay, Boston, 6:30 p.m. And it's interesting, you know, because the people who do those kind of readings, who like kind of predictive readings, yeah, it's not really my thing. And that's why I don't have as many followers as other people, because it's like people's addictions get played out and then they like pay money to like receive more of their addiction. And it's like, that's not what I do. I'm not saying that you have an addiction. I'm just saying that just shows why in my channel it's like, you got to face yourself. Like, you got to show up to the table. You can't expect someone else to tell you what's going to happen in your life, because what's going to happen in your life, you are full and in sole control of it. And that's the message that I bring. But not everyone can handle that for sure. I get that. But I have to be fully honest, you know, with myself. When those kind of questions come up, it's kind of like, I don't know if I can help you or not. You know what I mean? And I am still going off while I'm pulling up your chart. But don't worry, I'm pulling up your chart. I'm actually doing something. Let me actually put it on the screen so you guys can also see it. All right. It'll be up in a moment. And then you guys let me know when you can see it. Okay, here we go. No one else saw that. No one else saw that. Okay, can you see the chart? So that's your chart. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, let's do progressions first. And see what comes through here. Okay, so here's a big thing that's going on for you. Awesome, Rachel. Here's the thing that's going on for you right now. Your progressed moon is in the sign of Gemini. It's actually at 8 degrees. Your progressed sun is at 11 degrees of Sagittarius. In astrology, that's an opposition. And so when the moon reaches exactly the oppose the sun, that is what we call a full moon in astrology. And you are about to have a full moon phase, which means that this is a time in your life where there's a lot of culminating energy. A lot of things are like coming up and energy is intensified. These cycles of the progress chart, I was just talking to someone about it today. These cycles of the progress chart are long cycles in life. And the long cycles in life have to do with things that, especially when you come to the full moon phase, you have to look at what was going on in your life 14 years ago. 14 years ago, there was something that began. And it's now coming to full, say, fruition. Whenever we have a new moon, that's when we set intentions and that's when the energy begins. It starts to move forward. It gets set into motion. We live our lives, and most of us, because we weren't taught these things since we were little, live our lives unconsciously. And but you can live unconsciously and follow your intuition, and your intuition will guide you to the evolution of your soul, which is what your soul is really looking for in your life. Everything in your life is teaching you about yourself. Even especially your relationships, So what's going on in your life now? Whatever is happening in your life right now, whatever relationship, whatever, anything. Although I will say that this full moon is going to be happening in your 12th house. And the moon is going to be conjunct Ceres, which is actually the nurturing mother, the nurturing goddess. Believe it or not, that's a crazy connection there. Ceres is how we nurture, is how we love, but she represents the nurturing mother. So having this full moon energy, now that you said that, there's a connection there. When you reach the full moon phase, this means that in your life, you're going to start to reap what you sowed. And this can either show up in your life as something really powerful and like it feels like evolution, it feels like progress, it feels like growth, but it can also show up in your life as, oh my God, I did nothing with it because it's almost like you get a crop of weeds, or you get like a full blown crop of like food and whatever you planted. It's whatever you planted, you either worked it and you worked the land and you seeded it and you watered it and all that stuff, and you took care of it. And so the intention is in Sagittarius although it could have been a new moon in Scorpio as well, but the intention is this is what I'm beginning. This is the journey that my soul is beginning right now. And for the next 14 years, I'm going to be working on this. And now when it reaches the full moon phase, it's, well, here it is. Here's the product of the last 14 years of your life. And that's why right now, everything feels super intense. You yourself may feel uncomfortably sensitive as well. Emotions can be running high in your life. And this is a period of time that can literally last 2.5 years. But you're really at very, very close to the peak of this energy. And it's going to reach the peak in July. So around July 18th-ish, but July, basically the whole month, is where the fullness of this is going to come to life. This is also in your 12th house, which is the house of spirituality and your relationship to your own divinity. It also has to do with the circulatory system in the body. So if you have a connection biologically, it is the circulation. How is like everything circulating in your life? Do things feel like they're circulating freely, or do things feel stuck? That's going to give you a lot of insight. What is your relationship to your own divinity? What is your relationship to God, source energy, the great mother, whatever you want to call it? What is your relationship to that right now? Because that's what the universe is asking you to pay attention to. When I look at the transit chart, you're going through your Jupiter return this year. Jupiter's about to enter into Aries, and it's about to enter into your 11th house. So Jupiter this year was the year where this is also why you've been feeling super sensitive, but this year is also the year that you could have used and taken advantage of that energy of Jupiter and Pisces to like really grow things in your life. And Jupiter is in your 10th house, which is the house of career. It's also the house of your life path. It's also the house of how you're showing up for life, how you're showing up for the world. It's also how you're channeling your divine energy. Pisces is the ruler of the 12th house. So the fact that you're having a full moon, progress full moon in your 12th house, and there's Jupiter transiting Pisces it's about to end in the next few days, but Jupiter is transiting Pisces, and this is a time of good luck. Did you use that energy wisely? Did you feel that energy? You are super intuitive. You have deep, powerful intuition. You have a deep wisdom inside of you. You also have Pallas Athena in Pisces. Your wisdom comes through your intuition. Do you use your intuition? Do you listen to your intuition? Because if I was going to turn around and ask you the question that you asked me in the beginning, what is my relationship going to look like for the next 6 months with this person I'm seeing? What is your answer to that? Because with this strong of intuition, you know. You know. You just want someone else to tell you, but you already know. You already know right now if this is the right person or not. You knew the moment you met them. So you need to learn to listen to those gut instincts, because that's the power of Pisces energy, which is super intuitive. Where's your moon at? You have moon in Leo? Yeah, and sun in Scorpio. So here's another thing. The South Node is on your sun and on your Chiron and your Venus. So right now, if you're in a relationship, it's also can feel like it is either a relationship with someone that you've known before. That's awesome. I love that. Going to be the bomb. Fuck yeah. So this relationship and what you're going through internally with the South Node on your sun and your Venus and your Chiron, there's and your vertex, which is the karmic point, and your Juno, which is the planet of commitment. This is a karmic time in your life. You are going through spiritually inside. You're going through a transformation. You are like the caterpillar that opens up to become the butterfly. So the key is you're going to lose yourself, and you need to allow that process to happen. This is for the rest of 2022. You're going to feel yourself losing yourself, because you are. The shadows will come up. Any addictions that you have will come up right now. Any relationship karma, any healing wound, like childhood wounds, will come up. And you will get through if you literally let yourself be redefined and become new again. When you focus on that, that's where you're going to transform your life in ways that you could have never imagined. So it's a lot. It's heavy. It's intense. Just know that you are going through a lot right now. So if in your life you feel like it's too much, I can't breathe, just give yourself the space that you need to process, to let go, and to like get ready to like keep walking again. And that's what the astrology says for you. So there we go. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it at that. I hope that resonated. All right. Christy is next. Because you're becoming new. There's a new you that will rise, but it's going to take this whole year for you to realize you got to let go of the old you, which includes the old like negative habits, patterns, all that stuff. The being possessive. You have to let go of being possessive. Like there's a big lesson of releasing like the drama and all that stuff in your life, like letting it go completely so that you can make the space for a whole new story. But you may have some tower moments this year for sure with that south node on your sun. It's heavy energy. It's like, you're like, it feels like a weight is on you and you won't feel the release until the south node moves off of it. Okay. I know someone else got on the list and then someone's asking if the list is still open. Oh, I love that, Maria. Your honesty and authenticity are why we follow. Oh, thanks, Maria. I appreciate that. Hello, Linda. Welcome in. I missed a bunch of comments, but now we're ready for Christy's question. And then after Christy, it's Sherry. After Sherry, it's Maria. After Maria, it's Raven. And after Raven, we have Rachel. And after Rachel, we have Mindy. Okay. And I will keep it open. That's really sweet, Jordan. Thank you. All right, who's next? I mean, Christy, put up your question. So the way that this works, if you've never gotten a reading before with me, you send $25 to my PayPal. The link is in the description of the video. And then I'll add your name to the list. And then when it's your turn, I'll call your name. And then you'll put up your question in the chat. All right, Christy. What is your question and what kind of reading do you want? Make sure that you are watching on time. All right, we got Adriana on the list as well. Blockages. Can you be a little bit more specific? So the first thing that I need to know is whether you want an astrology reading or a tarot reading or oracle reading, because I have oracle cards with me right now. And then we can look at it through the questions that you're asking. You guys, I'm so excited about our retreat with Water Baby. You guys are not even going to believe how cool it's going to be. He's amazing. Okay. So can you put your astrology information in the chat? And then we'll go from there. Thanks for putting that up there, Dawn. Okay, here we go. 5/26. So 3/4/78 instead of 3/3/78. At 5:26 p.m. in Barberton, Ohio. Okay. It's also fun too because you kind of get to learn astrology at the same time. Let's take a look at what we got. So I want to ask you a question. What is it that you feel stuck in? Like what area of your life? What makes you feel stuck? Where is it that you want to grow, but that you feel like you're not growing? That would be the first thing I want to know. Thanks, Dawn. And Rebecca is now on the list as well. Yeah, and also when it's your reading, if I ask you questions, just be ready to answer questions. Because sometimes I need more information to be able to really, okay, awesome, spiritually. So let's take a look at what's going on. First of all, I want to see, I'm going to look at where the eclipses are happening in your life. Hello, Lynette. Welcome in. I have no idea why your thing is held for review. Dawn, I'm going to make you a moderator. Okay. All right. So we just had a new moon solar eclipse in Taurus, which happened in your 9th house, which is actually the house of spiritual integration. It's really interesting that you feel spiritually stuck because you have a lot of Pisces energy in your chart. You're a Pisces sun. It's conjunct Mercury. It's also conjunct Venus. And that's strong spiritual energy. And all of these planets have been transiting through Pisces and hitting your sun, your Mercury, and your Venus, which means these planets have been opening doors for you to like be in that frequency of spirituality. The thing is that your sun, your Mercury, and your Venus are in your 7th house. So for you, in terms of spirituality and understanding spirituality, it has to do with your relationships. It has to do with understanding your relationships. Relationships are a part of your life that you're very, very focused on. Your sun in the 7th house means that basically a lot of how you identify yourself is within your relationships. And so when you feel stuck spiritually, this is the Pisces energy I'm looking at, you're more than likely to figure out what's going on if you look at your relationships. Trying to figure out who I am consciously. So understanding your natal chart is really important to understanding who you are. And a lot of times that's where it begins. It begins by understanding the natal chart. So how familiar are you with your chart? Those little 3 things that I just mentioned about Pisces is that you have a lot of Pisces energy. However, this is in your 7th house, which means that sometimes you have to look outside of yourself to see what's really going on within you spiritually. And your relationships are going to be the mirror of life for you, of your growth. They will be a mirror to you. Your focus here in the world, you have North Node in Libra and it's in the 2nd house, is actually to focus on finding balance and stability in your life. It's interesting because with the sun in the 7th house, which is the house that is ruled by relationships, and the North Node in Libra, there's like another layer to this, which is relationships are also your destiny. Collaboration with other people, learning to work together with other people. These are all things that you're here to learn, and they may be outside of your comfort zone, but they are definitely related to how you're going to move forward in life and grow and evolve. I think that you tend to get caught up in the drama of life with your South Node in your 8th house. I think that you also get caught up in trying to do everything yourself. And you're really here to let go of karma, let go of the old stories, let go of the shadows, transmute your shadows, turn them into gifts so that you can find balance and harmony in your life. And when you find balance and harmony in your life within your relationships, you will finally feel like you're actually living out your purpose. That's the biggest connection to you, like living out your purpose or feeling spiritually centered. You also have Chiron and Taurus. Chiron and Taurus means that the biggest healing journey that you have in your life is your own, is learning to find confidence within yourself, is to grow your self-esteem and to find a way to understand that you are someone that has value, but you have to find it within yourself first. And when you find it within yourself, then you can turn around and like share that with the world. But until you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to have self-esteem issues. You're going to have money issues. You're not going to know where your values are. You're going to be confused about what's important and what's not important, because you also came here to learn that and heal that primal wound. It's like it's a wound that's connected to the earth, to your connection with nature too. You may feel disconnected from nature, so you need to find a way to reconnect with nature, because that is the key to finding that balance and that harmony. Chiron and Taurus and North Node in the second house, they're both there in Taurus energy. So it means that as you ground yourself, as you find a deeper connection to nature in your own way, maybe that looks like you go outside and be in nature. Maybe that looks like you just decide that, every once in a while, you're just going to go spend some time in nature. Maybe it means being alone in nature. If like there's something about nature and your connection to the earth that is so important and so healing, and the earth can clear your insecurities and clear your energies and take that all away if you just spend more time in nature. That's Chiron and Taurus. You have your moon in Capricorn, which means that you resist your emotions. And the funny thing is that you have Mars in Cancer, which means that you have no other way but to trust your emotions to take action. If you feel good, you're going to do things. If you don't feel good, you're not going to be able to do things. You're not going to be able to take action. So if you restrict your emotions, you will never be able to take action, period. If you look at your emotions or emotional things that are going on in your life and you say, that takes me out of control and I like to be in control, then you're going to have a hard time, because with your Mars in Cancer, you need to trust your emotions and you need to trust your intuition. So that's an opposition in your chart that's going to be felt very strongly. And that's why I can't move forward, because I restrict myself. So like you have an emotion or you have a feeling, and your job is to trust that feeling and go with it. But you're like not you're not trusting your feelings. That's that sense of insecurity. So the way that you're going to move forward, the way that you're going to unstick yourself, is to start trusting your intuition, like those gut instincts that tell you yes to this, no to this. Does any of that resonate? Yeah, it's a big deal, but you have it in you. You have it in you. You have a lot of water in your chart. In fact, there's a grand trine, not exact, but there's a grand trine between all of your water planets, which means that your intuition is strong. You just need to learn to trust it. And when you learn to trust it, that's where you're going to get unstuck. There's a place for being in control, and there's a place for letting yourself feel. If you restrict your emotions too much, you're also not going to have like power to activate and take action in life. And if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're way too emotional, it's going to be chaotic. So your job is also to understand that you are a very gullible person naturally. So you have to stop falling for things as well. Just like falling for ideas, someone else tells you this or someone else tells you that. You have to find your own way through the messages that you receive. Okay. That is what I got for you, Christy. Thank you. So a whole bunch more people got on the list, but next is Sherry. So Sherry, put up your question and we will go from there. I'm going to add a couple more names here and see if maybe the list is now closed, but let's figure this out. Who's a new innovative? And then also Soul Shift, that's you, Lynette, right? You're welcome. I have felt very disconnected and now I know how to reconnect. I know that being in nature is the answer. Well, there you go. I think she said that moon in Cap means you don't take action unless you feel good. That's Mars in Cancer. The moon in the Mars in her Mars in Cancer says, I won't take action unless I trust my emotions. The moon in Capricorn says, don't trust your emotions. That's why it's a dilemma. So you need to find the balance between the two. You got to let yourself trust your emotions in some way or another. At least that they're your guiding system. And then if you want to go even deeper, find your human design and see if you have a defined or undefined solar plexus. With Mars in Cancer or moon in Capricorn, maybe you may have, I don't know. It would be interesting to find out. Okay, so Sherry, here we go. We're doing Sherry's reading. Okay, and then let me share this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So a new innovative, that's Jill. Okay. So we got Sherry, Maria, Raven, Rachel, Mindy, Adriana, Rebecca, Jill, and then Lynette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the list is closed. No more. No more. We'll be here all night. Okay, so here we go. Sherry. Let me pull this up. April 8th, 1966. So I'm not going to pay attention too much to messages. So if the moderators can help me out, that would be awesome. That way we can just keep the ball rolling now that we've got a full lineup. Okay. And in Jacksonville, at 5:30 a.m. in Jacksonville. Florida. Okay. April 8th, 1966, 5:30. Okay. So, Sherry, what do you, okay, here we go. I'm feeling a big expansion coming in my mission. Transits. Okay. Let's take a look at the progress chart first. Okay, so your intuition is straight on because you actually, so similar to someone we were looking at earlier, Jordan, you actually have your progressed moon in Sag and your progressed sun in Gemini, and you just recently had your full moon phase in your progressed chart. So there's definitely, this whole year is like a powerful culminating energy for you that is closing off the cycle from 14 years ago. So whatever started 14 years ago is now coming to full fruition. If you watered and you took care of the seeds and stuff, then you'll have that full crop. But if you didn't take care of it, then you'll have like a crop of weeds. So that's how I describe that energy. It's kind of scary to think about because you don't really know, but you can feel it intuitively. I'm coming up to my full moon phase. This is going to be insane, but it's kind of funny when you have kind of like a public life and you go through these crazy transits, but my progressed moon is about to move into Capricorn, which is the sign where my full moon phase is going to be. And it has all to do with business. So I feel the same. Intuitively, I feel like, okay, this shit's about to blow up. And it's an amazing feeling. So you know intuitively if you've been like feeding it and taking care of it, and now it's like coming to full fruition. So that is, you're right on that you're expanding majorly. And it's funny that you also use the word expansion. because it's a full moon in Sagittarius. And this is an energy that is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So you're right on that it's a moment of huge expansion for you. It's also happening in your 9th house, which is the house of spiritual integration. Not to mention that currently right now, your moon is at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, which is right around where the great attractor is, which is all of this Sagittarius energy is Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is the 13th sign. So there is a powerful connection to knowledge of past lives, memories of past lives, the Akashic records, all that stuff. Related, this full moon is related to that, to you finding a deeper spiritual understanding, to understanding things that are hidden. This is what's happening for you this year. So you're right on that there's something really powerful going on for you. You're definitely expanding. You're also going through your nodal return. The North Node is in Taurus and your North Node is in Taurus. So this is a time of take advantage, because this is growth, and this is, you can focus on your mission again. Like that's it. That's the North Node is destiny. So that's another, you got full moon going on in your progress chart. You've got North Node, nodal return. I mean, all of these are powerful, expansive things. And you will notice that this is also something new. You may feel a lot of newness from this because Taurus is where Uranus is right now. So that means that whatever you're doing is new. It's kind of like a little bit of a gamble, but at the same time, you are stepping into mission. Very, very much stepping into mission. So hopefully that just helped to confirm for you what you're already feeling intuitively within yourself. Thank you. Maria is next. It's Maria, Raven, Rachel, Mindy, Adriana, Rebecca, Jill, and then Lynette. So we got Maria. Go ahead and put up your question. Hello, Jason. Welcome in. We are doing amazing. You're welcome. So yeah, make sure that you guys have your question ready for when I call your name, and you just throw it in the chat real quick. Like just type it out in your phone in your notes with all the information, and then just like boom, throw it on. All right, here we go. Do I have some karma lessons to learn? Or am I just having shit luck lately? I've been dealing, with a tax audit. Okay, since 2019. Now I'm being investigated by unemployment for 2020 for supposed overpayment. You want me to take it away, Dawn? That's hilarious. You don't have to have it. I figured you were there. So if you don't want it, I'll take it back. No big deal to me. So I'm going to use cards. Sorry. I'm just making a decision here. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, Teachers, for being here with us this evening. I would like to ask help clearing the energy of these cards as well as my energy, so I can be that open channel of grace, of intuition to flow through. And right now I would like to ask for a message for Maria, who is dealing with some crazy situations in her life. You know, it's interesting, Maria, because both of those situations have to do with money, right? So like taxes have to do with money, unemployment has to do with money. And we do have the North Node in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus. So from your chart, from when you remember, what do you have in Taurus? Just like in a general sense. Do you have anything in Taurus? Oh, Maria, the list is closed. We've got like 1,000 people. But if you hang out, I mean, honestly, like I'll let you get on the list if you get on it now. Okay, so let me actually pull a Gene Keys card as well. Okay, so we're using the archetype cards, and I'll tell you what's coming through. The first card that you get is the Siren, and oh, your Sun and Venus. And what house are they on? Okay, so the Siren. Everything that's going on, everything that's going on right now, so Maria, if you want to get on the list, you have to send $25. So these are paid readings. All right, so the Siren. What I'm feeling is like there's something really deep that you're diving into. Obviously, this goes deeper than that's really interesting that it's in your 10th house. This goes deeper than I think you were expecting. Whatever is going on. As the Siren, starts to go deep into the ocean. I feel like the ocean is the ocean of fears that are just coming up right now. And for some reason, part of it feels to me like it's almost like it's a purging. It's almost like a purging. It's a facing of fears, like deep-seated fears that is going on. And it definitely does feel karmic, but it feels like, so I'm feeling both the energy of like I'm drowning in it. I feel the energy of it's too deep to handle. I don't know what's in there, but I'm also feeling the energy of like we're diving in. We're diving in. It's definitely, it's deep. So like that's what I get from the Siren card. It's deep. It's something that's like, but I don't feel like it's a negative thing. I feel like you've actually, because of the work that you've been doing and because of the things that you've been changing your energy, you've been changing your frequency, you've been learning to focus on different things. And that actually I see in the mystic. You're activating the mystical energies within you. And I think because of that, there's something about the gunk is going to come up so that it can get like cleared. And it's not like you're just having this shit luck. It's actually the gunk coming up, and it may have nothing to do with like actual money, but it has everything to do with like facing fears. And it's almost like the fear of being attacked, the fear of being seen, the fear of like doing something wrong. The fear, it's like something the universe is telling you like to learn to let go of control. That's what I'm getting. It's like learn to release like the control. That's part of it. But you are activating these frequencies. And so it's like stuff is rising to the surface from the deep bottom, from the bottom of the sea, and it's like coming up. You also get the underworld card. I mean, look at how convoluted like this image is in itself. And the underworld it's the world of the shadows, or it's the world of fears. It's where I think the key to this is not feeling like a victim. I think that's the key. As hard as that is to hear or even to say, is that when you stop feeling like a victim in this situation, that's what it's teaching you. To trust in the process and to surrender to the process and to not feel like a victim. Because that's a frequency. And when you release that frequency, then it won't have a hold on you anymore. That's what's coming up. I'm not afraid to dive in. I just want to face it and address. I just needed to know what. So this makes a lot of sense. The fear factor, not being able to express. Yeah, those are the 3 cards that you get. And then of the gene keys, you get the 62nd gene key, the energy of precision. Yeah, I agree. It definitely, it's not about the money for sure. There's something else. And that's a good thing that you can actually recognize that, because a lot of us like freak out, like what's going on? We want to understand it. And I think that you're getting what I'm saying, that it's deeper. It's like a deep seated thing that's coming up for you on purpose. And then the 37th gene key of equality. So what I would do is check out the 62nd gene key and the 37th gene key when you get a chance, and see what insight comes through. And do you have either of these gene keys as well? Would be a really good question to ask yourself. And just to give a little bit of insight, the 62nd gene key goes from the shadow of intellect, which is interesting that that's the shadow, maybe thinking too much about it, to the gift of precision, to the city of impeccability. Intelligence is of the heart, whereas intellect is of the mind. Okay, so it's asking you to drop to your heart. Drop from the head to the heart. That's one of the messages here. And the other one is the 37th gene key goes from the shadow of weakness to the gift of equality, to the city of tenderness. And I feel like the tenderness that it's asking you is tenderness towards yourself. It's that message that I was getting about like feeling like you got to get rid of the feeling of like I'm a victim here for whatever reason, and find the tenderness towards yourself. From the point of view of the human heart, all humanity is one family. It's about not feeling weak as you move through this process. It's about finding your strength as you move through this process. So hopefully that resonated for you. It's not so much victim feeling, just frustration, like really still another mountain to climb. I am exhausted enough already. Yeah. So it's that you have to like, and I know you're going to do it, but that's what you have to let go of. It's not a mountain. It's actually not a mountain. That's the illusion. And I think that's the lesson that you're learning, is that this actually isn't a mountain like you think it is. When you let go of, this is not a mountain, this is actually something that you just have to, you know, deal with it and then go on. Like, I'm going to focus all my energy here, and not there. That's when the energy of the actual thing will stop having an intense hold on you emotionally, in a way. Okay. So, because even though that's not really victim, you're saying it's not like you feel like you're a victim. It is. That is a way of feeling like you're a victim, because it's something that happens to you that you need to like get over. It's like another hurdle. And I think that's the key. It's like, it's not. That's what the universe is trying to tell you. It's like, change the perspective of how you think about it. And maybe victim is not the right word, but change the perspective of how you think about it and focus your energy on something else. And whatever needs to get done for that to get resolved is on autopilot. And then you're like, focus on something else. All right. Raven is next. We can definitely do your reading the next time. If you can't stay, that's totally cool. I'm going to save it for next time, but you'll have to remind me. So then after Raven, it is Rachel. Good. Okay, good, Maria. I'm glad. All right, so Rachel, go ahead and put up your question. Do 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 do. Let's go, y'all. Or I'm just gonna keep going down the list, and you miss your turn. I'm kidding. I'm not that aggressive. I just do have the gene key of impatience, so bear with me while I handle my emotions. Do you have a question that you want to ask, Rachel? We're doing Rachel right now, then it's Mindy, then Adriana, then Rebecca, then Jill, and then Lynette. In what way? You're also getting ready for a full moon phase in your chart. Uncertainty in a relationship and work. Okay, let's see what we got here. So your progressed moon is at 29 degrees of Scorpio. Been in a relationship for over 2 years that has been very distant, but loving, but confusing for me. Also not sure where to head in career. Lots going on with work, but not sure where to focus. So let's just talk about your moon progressed in Scorpio. So for the entire time that you've been in this relationship, your progressed moon has been in the sign of Scorpio. This means that these last 2 years have been more about focusing on transmuting shadows. Facing shadows, transmuting shadows, getting triggered. You may feel like you've been getting triggered a lot in these last 2 years. You may feel like there's a lot of things that you want to release. There's a lot of things that you just have no more desire for, no more, patience for. You have Saturn and Mars in Scorpio. And so you have the same shit that I have, which means that you're very intense. You have a very intense personality and you have a very intense way of speaking because this is in your third house. This energy is in your third house of communication. So yes, there's been a lot of things that have been triggering you like crazy these last 2 years. And it has to do with you like letting go of old ways of communicating and stepping into new ways of communicating. And you're going to go through those moments that feel really dark and like shadowy, that bring up things. It could be karmic stuff also. The last 2 years have been very, like 2.5 actually, have been kind of definitely karmic because the progressed moon went over your Saturn. But the moon is about to enter like very soon into the sign of Sagittarius, and you're going to feel a shift in the energy. And I'll tell you exactly when this is happening. So this is happening May 19th. Your progressed moon is going to enter the sign of Sagittarius. That's significant, one, because this is the sign where you are going to see your full moon in your progressed chart, which think 14 years back. This is a theme. This keeps happening on these mini readings where people get a chart reading and then they're all going through the same thing. I'm about to go through my full moon, and like literally almost everyone else was like, except one person was going through their full moon phase in their progress chart is about to or is going to go to. So there's a lot of culminating energy. And if you have not taken care of whatever intention you set 14 years ago, you're going to feel like you're not on the right path. But the moon in Sagittarius invites you to have fun exploring. However, your moon is going to pass over, your progressed moon is going to pass over your South Node, which is karmic, and it's going to pass over your Uranus, which is unpredictable things. So the next 2.5-year cycle is going to be unpredictable energies that will help you to find ways of being more open about exploring new things. Yeah, and spiritual work and spiritual integration, all of those themes. So this energy, the full moon, is actually going to happen in your fourth house of the home. So this actually has to do with family. This is related to family for you. For these, this next 2.5 years, family things will come up, family karma will come up, things like that. And it'll feel like it's magnifying in a way that feels super uncomfortable. So whenever you have South Node transits, it's about facing whatever comes up and then finding a way of letting it go, of releasing it. The old everything, and you have to accept that unexpected things may show up in your life in the next 2.5 years, and to be okay and trust that this is exactly what you asked for. This is exactly what you planned for. So that's a new adventure, and that's cool that your family is helping you. So new things, unexpected things will be showing up in your life, but you're getting ready for a full moon phase. So this is actually a time in your life where you're going to feel the energies are intensifying, things are getting more heavy. You're very emotional. The moon in Scorpio is a gnarly transit. So just wait till May 19th and you're going to feel the energy shift. You're going to feel the shift starting May 19th. Yeah, so anything that has to do with home and family is actually there's karma there. There's karmic lessons that are being worked out. And somehow this is the time in your life, these next 2.5 years, where you chose to have a culminating event or something like that completes the energy so that you can go on to a different cycle and start looking at something else. So it's exciting because it's a full moon. It's not that exciting because it's going to pass over the South Node. But if you can get through that heaviness, that heavy part, and make it to the other side of the South Node, that's the thing. It's like you're going to deal with it before the moon becomes full. And if you do that successfully, when the moon reaches that fullness, you'll feel, this is the liberation. This is the freedom that I was looking for. Yeah, so you'll start to feel a very, very powerful shift soon. And that energy that you've been feeling for the last 2.5 years is going to be over. When the moon is in Scorpio, there tends to be a lot of drama in our lives. A lot of heaviness, and yes, a lot of tears, a lot of emotions. It's like a lot of tower moments. So now you're over that. You're done with that phase and you're about to enter a new phase, a new 2.5 year phase. So the heaviness will feel lifted, but there's one more thing to deal with, which is with your South Node, before you enter into the full freedom of it. You have to let yourself fully go through that process. And it'll be coming in the next, in 2.5 years, this whole story is going to start to unfold for you. Dawn, that's hilarious. Okay. So, that is what is the most significant stuff for you. And it'll affect every area of your life, because it'll free you up to actually focus on other stuff. And that's what I think is going to feel the best, is going to change everything else that you are looking for change in your life. Yep, it's your turn, Mindy. That's really funny. All right, Mindy, let's see what we got for you. So we've got Mindy, Adriana, Rebecca, Jill, and then Lynette. And Lynette is the last reading. No one else has signed up after Lynette. You're welcome, Rachel. Tomorrow we are going to do the Temple of Isis, you guys. I'm really excited about tomorrow's lecture and everything. Yeah, we got Mindy and then Adriana, Rebecca, Jill, and Lynette. That's the order. So 5 more readings. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to learn about the Temple of Isis and go into the Temple of Isis in the Akashic initiation. We're going to learn about the 7 laws of the universe. This is going to be a good one. So we're waiting for Mindy's question. And in the meantime, how are you guys doing? I literally can't believe how much is going on right now. Yeah, the Temple of Isis was actually really, really amazing. We're waiting for your question, love. Mindy. I'm fascinated with human design and I can't stop reading my book. I'm like obsessed. I was up till 1:30 in the morning last night because I couldn't stop reading the book. I love that, Raisa. Thank you. Thank you for moderating, Dawn. I appreciate it. Oof. Gnarly. I went through that last September. Yeah, I went through that last September. It was gnarly. No, there's a lot of intense shit going on right now. I heard Mary Magdalene channeled Isis. I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. Okay, here we go. I've been having health issues on the left side of my body, in my mouth, my breast, my left lower quadrant. Interesting. You're really nervous about it. So Dolores Cannon says that any issues that are going on in the left side of the body are issues related to past lives. And anything that's going on the right side of the body is issues related to like this life. So right away, what this tells me is that this is a past life thing, something coming up to be resolved in a way that deals with a past life. So actually, one of the things that I would recommend is if you have an opportunity to do past life regression, it might be something that helps to understand at a deeper level what this actually means. Okay. And I also want to pull a Gene Keys card. And also, I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. Like, health issues they're scary. All right. This is really interesting. The cards that you got are, I'll show them all to you. The comic, the box, the vow, and the shaman. These are like really powerful cards. So the comic, what I think, first of all, in this card, you have all the colors of the chakras. You have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, like indigo, violet. So that's like the first thing I noticed. The comic to me says that it's almost like, I don't know why it feels this way, but it's almost like there's two ways to interpret this, but what's actually coming through for me is like, is the universe like playing a joke on you? That sounds like horrible, but for some reason it's like, is this something that you're not supposed to be worried about? And it's kind of like a test to see if you like really can handle like a joke, like from the universe, you know? The other thing that's coming through really strongly right now is that the chakras, like, have you done like dowsing of the chakras or an Akashic reading to go into the chakras and look at what's happening in terms of the energetic centers? So you said the mouth, the breast, the left lower quadrant. So the mouth would be connected to the throat. The breast would be connected to the heart chakra, and the lower abdomen would be connected to, it could be solar plexus, but it also could be the second chakra. But honestly, because the card has all the colors, I feel like some kind of chakra clearing, dowsing, going in and asking intuitively, where is this really happening in my body? What is the energy center that's related to what's happening in my body? Is part of the healing process or the realization or the part of the healing process. Now, the box, this is interesting because what this tells me, so when you think of like the box, I feel restriction. I feel like restricted. Like this is about you putting yourself in a box in some way, shape, or form, or you feeling like you're in a box and there's restriction. So it's about asking yourself the question, what am I restricting? Why do I feel where do I feel restricted in my life is also going to help you answer the question of where is this really happening in my energetic centers. Because it feels like you feel stuck. You're stuck in a box. And this could also be a belief system. This could also be a way of thinking about what's going on. And so you got to get out of the box in order to figure it out. The vow. This one is really interesting. This is about So there's like these two hands that are like holding each other, and then there's the bird. But I feel like what this says to me is that it's almost like you made a vow. You made a vow. You made like a commitment. You made a vow to like either deal with this or face it or find your way through it. There's some kind of a promise that you made, and this could be what's connected to the past life. You made a promise, and you need to figure out maybe not exactly what the promise is, although past life regression can definitely help you figure that out. But you need to figure out, what is it that I committed to? What this is related to some kind of a commitment that you made, some kind of a vow that you made in your life, in a past life as well, that is now like you have to live up to it. And if you're maybe not allowing yourself to live up to it, then maybe this is why all the health stuff is showing up in your life. And the last card that you get here is the Shaman, which tells me that this is the universe throwing it right back at you, the healing process, because the shaman is the one that has the ability to heal, And of course, obviously, the whole lesson in everything in life, whenever any kind of health issues show up, is we have the ability to heal ourselves. I would also really look into your human design, because that has a lot to do with health and well-being, and depending on like what are your defined and undefined centers, you're going to find a lot of insight as to health, what's related to health. But I feel like the Shaman card says that the healing will happen, but in essence, when it comes to shamanic energy, it's about going through the darkness. It's about going through the shadows. So the healing will happen traversing the shadows, traversing the fear, and that this brings up, and then also realizing that you have the power within yourself to heal yourself. This is also like a death ritual. This is also something that is here to transform you and change you, and you are letting go of something that is no longer serving you, and you have to allow that process to happen in your life. I do the QHHT, which is the Dolores Cannon technique. That one is really good. But yeah, there's many different methods, but I do the QHHT. So this is the other thing that you get, the 45th gene key of synergy. So the 45th gene key, I mean, look at the face also of this beautiful, it's like a grandmother energy coming through here. Moves from the shadow of dominance. Ooh, that connects back to this, the box, trying to be in control. Moves from the shadow of dominance to the gift of synergy to the city of communion. So this is about asking yourself, what are you trying to control? Ultimately, any system that has been built on a foundation of fear will by its very nature crumble. Oof, that's heavy. But I feel like that definitely matches this frequency. Ultimately, any system that has been built on a foundation of fear will by its very nature crumble. There's a lot there. Letting go of the limiting, the belief systems that are keeping you in the box. The beliefs that keep you in the box. That's deep though. I mean, that's really deep, because how do you determine, like, so what are those beliefs? You know what I mean? And sometimes it takes the sort of the view of someone else looking in from the outside to help you recognize those beliefs, which is also the role of a shaman. A shaman can help you find the shadow within yourself and uncover it. And you yourself can find the shadow within yourself. But this is, yeah, I feel like this is definitely related to like a past life thing that's coming up. So the other question is, what comes up when you're experiencing these things? What are the thoughts that come up when you're experiencing whatever issue? Why is it scary? Why does it make you nervous? That's a place to start the contemplation of it. What am I afraid of? It's like you're opening the door. All right, Adriana is next. Thank you, Mindy, and I wish you good luck. Oh, she already put up her question. Okay. I get physical ascension symptoms on the left side of my body when I had ancestral clearing happening with women in the bloodline, mostly on my dad's side of the family. You're welcome, Mindy. You're welcome. Okay, so is this synastry reading with your dad? Okay, 9/9/21 91 and 11/04. So who is this 10:32? Let me finish reading because I'm still pulling up the charts. The eclipse brought a shift in our relationship. Deeper connection, more intimacy during spiritual practice together. Desiring to be our own leaders, want to know what the nodes are doing in our charts. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so let me just make sure I have the information correct before I start talking. So we got 9/21/91 at 11:04 p.m. and then we've got 2/14/91 at 10:32 a.m. Okay. It's all good. So the nodes. Have you looked at your charts together yet? Let me start there. Let me just go into. Okay, so I'm just gonna go do the whole synastry the way I usually do it. All right, so you have Sun in Virgo, And let's do this. Sun in Virgo. His sun is in Aquarius. Those are like very interesting. They're very different energies. So he's a very unique individual, and you have your own unique way of like seeing the world as well. Sun in Virgo, the light aspect of Sun in Virgo is it can be very particular with what it wants, what it likes, what it feels good with. It can desire for perfection. The shadow is like OCD about everything. His sun in Aquarius is, so that's mutable earth. Aquarius is fixed air. And what that is that there is a stubbornness. I feel like these two signs can uniquely find a way to really connect with each other, but they are very different. And that's the thing to remember, is that these two energies are very, very different from each other. But that's just the sun. There's a lot more to look at. The next thing I look at is the moon. He's got moon in Aquarius. He was born exactly on a new moon in Aquarius, which is quite freaking phenomenal. What are the chances of that? And he's got Mercury right there, and he's got Saturn right there as well. So he does have a lot of Aquarius energy, but his moon is in Aquarius. Your moon is in Pisces. So you tend to be, in terms of intuition, you tend to be very sensitive and intuitive. So you were actually, that's funny. So he was born on a new moon, and you were born either the day right before or like just hours before a full moon in Pisces. So he's new moon, you're a full moon energy. That is so cool. So super interesting. But in terms of emotions, you're much more sensitive. You're very intuitive, right? But you do have this kind of heightened sense of awareness to everything around you, everything and everyone around you. That's like natural because it was also on a full moon day. His moon is in Aquarius, which means he's more aloof. Like he's much more aloof. You're much more like focused on the details. His moon in Aquarius is not a very emotional energy. And what I mean by that is it's much more logical. It's much more mental. And that's how he processes his emotions. So you guys have like very different energies when it comes to the sun and the moon. I wouldn't say that they're synastry or not. I would say that they're just very different. So it's important to stay aware of like how those things show up in each other. And the awareness will just help with communication. When it comes to what you truly desire in life, we look at Venus. So you have Venus in Pisces, which means that you love that kind of romantic, happy ending story. You fall in love easy. That's something that happens. You tend to be kind of gullible, and you want things to be beautiful. You just like want things to be beautiful in life. And that's something that's like really important to you. You desire like beauty and connection and sensitivity with someone in a relationship, spirituality. It needs to be a spiritual connection 100% for you. What he desires the most, or that's him actually, excuse me. That's him. So scratch that. That's him. He's much more sensitive in terms of the relationship. He loves that like happy ending. So everything I just said, that's his Venus. Your Venus is actually in the sign of Leo. So this is water and fire. So this is interesting because again, there's these really very different signs. Very different signs. It's like earth and air and water and fire. And it's like these energies don't really collide. They collide with each other. They don't necessarily like smoothly like fit in with each other. So these are things that you guys have to work out individually and understand about each other individually within the relationship. So he's very sensitive, and he does desire like beauty in relationship, and that's important to him, spiritual connection. For you have Venus in Leo. So you're much more of like, let's have fun. Yeah, that's cool. Let's have fun. Let's show off. Let's like be awesome together. Let's have these, really cool things that we can do to show off the relationship. I just really want to have fun. I want someone that I can have fun with. I want someone that sees my light. I want someone that sees who I am and is able to like appreciate that in me and love that in me. And I don't see why this energy couldn't get along. They're just very different. In terms of how you get what you want, we look at Mars. So you have Mars in Libra, and he's got Mars in Gemini. So these energies are trining. So now we have two Mars that are in the same element, air. Mars in Libra, you have a harder time making decisions, but you love to talk and you love to express yourself as well. And then Mars in Gemini, he does too. He will communicate. He will say what he wants. He will talk. He will, like, the way that he does things is it's kind of like, it's a fun energy. And Gemini and Libra are trying each other energetically. So this is harmonious communication. You both do life in a very kind of air kind of way, which means a little bit more intellectual. The reason why you have a hard time making decisions is because you have to think about it before you decide. But Gemini, the Mars in Gemini is actually an energy that can help you decide because it'll talk about it with you and help you figure it out. So that's a harmonious connection. You're both very similar in the way that you actually do take action to actually get things in your life. So that's Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mars. And Mercury is how you communicate with each other, which tells you a lot about the way that you guys either communicate or not communicate. And he's got Mercury in Aquarius and you have Mercury in Virgo. So you are very, you're like a little bit of not an investigator, but a little bit, you're precise about what you say and how you say it. And the way that you communicate has like a unique way of communicating. Now, he's also the same, but he's much more aloof. And the things that you guys focus on, you focus more on communicating things in a very, what's the word that I'm looking for? You focus your communication on what's right and what's wrong. And he focuses his communication on like, what's the cool new thing that's going on? Or how can we innovate in this way? His ideas, this is how you think. So you think in like very particular ways, like, oh, I like that way. I like this way. And then your thoughts become your words. And then for him, it's more like, look at this new stuff. Like, let's come up with new ideas. So he's very like, he has a lot of cool new ideas. And then you like help him like organize it. You're much more of like an organized way of thinking and communicating. And he's much more like unique and kind of wild and unpredictable communicating style. And then your Chirons will tell you your healing frequency, and you have Chiron in Leo, which means you're learning to heal. You're learning to understand yourself. You're learning to learn how to shine your light, learn how to really truly be in the essence of who you are, what you love. Like be who you are. And that's what you love. You are what you love. And you've been learning your whole life to like accept your own light and the way that you shine. And it's been your whole journey. For him, he's learning how to nurture himself and learn how to nurture others as well. Learn how to, he might have like issues with his relationship with his mother as well. This may be something that he's healing in his life. And so now he has to learn how to like give himself love or nurture others or himself. The interesting thing about this is that you have Chiron in Leo, which is ruled by the sun, and he has Chiron in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. And the sun and the moon are very much connected energies. Very much connected energies. Like the sun and the moon are the king and the queen of the astrology, of like the king and the queen of the castle, the astrological castle. And noticing that there's also a connection there between the fact that he was born on a new moon, which is a very sun-centered energy, and you were born on a full moon, which is a very moon-centered energy. How interesting that your healing journey has to do with the sun and his healing journey has to do with the moon. So maybe another thing that he feels is insecure about his emotions, insecure about feeling his emotions and letting himself feel. But I think deep down, he's a very nurturing being. He's just learning how to find that feminine aspect in himself and allow himself to express that nurturing in his own way, in his own unique way. I think that's actually fascinating. And in terms of the nodes, you guys have the same nodes. You both have North Node Capricorn, South Node Cancer. Which means that you have similar missions. Energetically, there are similar missions. They're in different houses. So in his chart, his North is going to be in a different house, and that will give you more insight into what his flavor of North Node Capricorn is. But North Node Capricorn is you're bringing a legacy into the world, a new legacy for humanity. Capricorn energy is where the Lyran starseeds are, and they are the oldest souls in the galaxy. So this is about bringing ancestry, bringing history and knowledge and wisdom and sharing it with the world, showing up for the world as leaders. So this is a leadership energy. Yeah, that's crazy. So you're both here to let go of focusing too much on home and family and focus more on being out there in the world. Like you definitely have something to do in the world by showing up in the world. And Capricorn has to do with the energy of career, life path, how you channel your own divine energy in the world. Business. Like you guys got business to do, you know, and it may be outside of your comfort zone, but together you can step into it because you have the same alignment of the nodes. They're not in the same degrees, but they're in the same signs. So that's actually really cool. You have a lot of other stuff together in Capricorn too. You both have Uranus in Capricorn, Neptune in Capricorn, North Node in Capricorn. There's a lot, like intuitively you work the same. Uniquely you are like the same. It's interesting. I think that's where a lot of the synastry is. Everything else has very different energies and like these kind of cool things going on, but this is where you have a lot of the same in the Capricorn. You both have Pluto and Scorpio. This is a cool chart. This eclipse moved something in our connection, feeling maybe Scorpio was doing some deep moves. Yeah. So Taurus, so the South Node is on your Plutos. The South Node is passing over Pluto for both of you, and he's a Taurus rising, so his identity is changing. Like he's changing within, deeply within, with this eclipse season. Something about the way he identifies himself is changing. And for you, it's a spiritual awakening, a spiritual beginning. For you, it's gonna the South Node eclipse that's coming up in Scorpio is really gonna ground you. And for him, it's gonna bring up stuff, relationship stuff. All right. There you go. Okay, that was awesome. So who is next? We have got Rebecca. Rebecca is next. I'm ready for your question now. Thank you guys for being here. We got Rebecca, Jill, and Lynette. That's the list, and that's it. No one else is on the list, and the list is closed. I saw that thing about I saw that they had the same nodal alignment, but I'm like, let's look at other stuff because that's simple. Like that's a simple read, you know? You have a very similar energy in your mission, but your North Node is in the 8th house. So you're also here. This is for Adriana. You're also here to take more risks in life, and his North Node is okay, so his North Node is in his 9th house. So he's also here. He needs to go and have more adventures. He needs to go and have a spiritual journey. So much makes sense now. It's been a ride since we met. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, here we go. Progressed reading for Rebecca. All right. Okay, 3/28/85. 11:42 p.m. And the location is okay. Okay, so there's a lot going on for you. You've got your progressed moon in the sign of Scorpio currently at 23 degrees. Your progressed sun is in the sign of Taurus at 14 degrees. You also have your south node in Scorpio, north node Taurus, which means you're going through your nodal return. This year is kind of crazy because so here's what's happening. This is an opportunity for you to step into purpose. And for you, North Node Taurus is about finding more stability, letting go of drama, letting go of past life, karma, drama, taking risks, like all that stuff, and coming into a more stable essence, a more stable way of being within yourself, focusing on bringing abundance into your life. Your North Node is in the 5th house, so the way you're going to bring the abundances is you're going to shine your light. So your job is to learn to shine your light. And that's about stepping into your passion, being creative and doing what you love, but it's not about being wild and crazy or about being reclusive or possessive or deeply emotional. Like, no, this is the opposite. This is about focusing on what you love, the pleasure, sensuality, things that you value, things that make you feel good, not the drama. So that's in essence, you're going through nodal return. When the nodal return comes, this is mission time. At the same time, however, you just recently had your full moon phase, and it was in Scorpio in your chart. So this has been also a year where you have felt the culmination of some kind of karmic ending. There's been a huge karmic release. There's been a huge karmic ending. And it was heavy, and it was like, it could have had a lot to do with how you share your gifts with the world. It could have had a lot to do with a friend, or it could have had something to do with your nervous system, something related to anxiety, something that gave you anxiety, someone in your life that like could have been related to someone in your life that like mirrors what you want, but in some way either they show you the opposite of what you see. In a way, they show you the opposite. And so it's been huge. It's been a huge karmic release, this full moon. And you got to think back 14 years ago. What was going on 14 years ago in your life? Because that's coming up right now. But now that this sort of culmination, this big explosive release is happening, you're on the other side of it. And so you can start to relax a little bit now. And relax into your North Node. The big dramatic, like the big culminating dramatic effect happened, but now it's done. And you need to start finding more stability now. So that's what's going on for you, Rebecca. So there you go. Next, we have Jill and then Lynette. So hopefully that was that resonated for you. I'm just chilling. So we got just 2 more readings. And I do want to say thank you to everyone that got a reading so far tonight. I really appreciate it. And I love doing the mini readings. They're super fun. Let's see what's going on next week while we wait for Jill to put up her question. So next week, I don't think I'm going to be doing mini readings on Friday because my brother's going to be in town, and we might have to wait till the week after that. You haven't felt anything gnarly going on in your life in the last year? Because that's crazy if you haven't. Nope. Did not go. That's awesome, Marissa. I'm glad that you find these useful, educational. That's crazy, Adriana. That's really interesting. All right. Being a reflector is no joke. You have, 0 defined centers. We got it, Jill. Okay, I'd like to know what's up with my 8th house and also North Node in Aquarius. Let's take a look. In your progress chart? You can always watch the replay. You're like, hello? Oh, that's really funny. So Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So you just went through your first quarter square in your progress chart. The first quarter square. Let's take a look at what exactly that means. The first quarter square occurs 7 years after the new moon. We have the waxing square. So this is a time of action. Yeah, you're definitely going through a Chiron return. The action springs from the essence of the new moon. You feel a deep need to physically materialize the desires implanted 7 years earlier. It's an ego-building time with personal achievement taking a lead role. If you are in this lunar phase, know that this is a time of action. The energy of the square, it's manifesting, it's pushing forward. It's obvious to the world. The seeds of the new moon are now visible to the world, and during this time, the plant is growing rapidly, achieving most of its strength and height before it is needed to support the fruit. The first quarter moon is the physical manifestation of the energy of the new moon. So that's what's going on in terms of your progress chart. Your progress moon is also in Pisces, which this is a very spiritual time for you. But like you said, you are also going through your Chiron return in Aries. So this is the final lesson, the final realization of that deep primal wound that you were born into the world with, which is you feel like you don't know who you are, and you feel like you don't know what you're here for, and you don't know your identity. So you are now coming to terms about who am I and why am I here. This is the full Chiron and Aries journey completion. Is like you are now fully coming to the fruition of understanding who I am and why I'm here. Coupled with the first quarter moon, a time of action. Think of 7 years ago. What was going on 7 years ago that sparked something in you, that started some kind of a journey, a 28-year journey, and you're on this journey, and this is what's happening, all kind of culminating right now in your life. Predictive astrology, the eagle and the lark. Okay, so you asked about your 8th house. Well, you have Sun, Uranus, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. You have all of those in your 8th house. And if I look at let me look at the transits real quick. There's not much going on in the 8th house, but what is happening is there's a lot going on in your 2nd house, because Venus just entered Aries. She's going to conjunct your Chiron. Jupiter is about to enter Aries. He's going to conjunct your Chiron. Mars is about to enter Aries. So all the Aries is like hitting your Chiron, like boom, boom, boom. And so it adds more to the whole heal your identity, heal who you are. Who are you? Why are you here? Like you're healing it. Like it's like bombarding this area. And the truth is that you have a lot of Libra in your chart. And so you're much more inclined to think about other people and not yourself. I think that's why this is the big lesson for you, is to learn to like think about yourself, focus on yourself, what's important to you. And that's foreign to you because you have Libra energy, a lot of Libra energy. So you identify yourself with others and with relationships. And when something about the relationship, it's hard for you to be yourself, and it's hard for you to be in your own, like, take a stand. That's why this is a healing journey, because you're learning how to take a stand and find your own personal strength and power and ability to initiate. And once you heal this wound, this lesson, you will have that power to initiate, because you will know who you are, why you're here, and where you're coming from. And that's everything that's jumping out at me right now. So I hope that gave you some insight. That makes sense. All the puzzle pieces are coming together. Nice. The list is closed, but we have one more, Lynette. You can join us usually every Friday. It's been kind of crazy, so it's kind of been every other Friday lately. But I'm here usually every Friday to do mini readings. Here we go, Lynette. Thanks, Jill. Here we go, the last reading of the evening. Yeah, if you're new, definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell, join us in the Channel for Grace Starseed Soul Tribe. I actually have a MeWe group. You can follow me on Instagram as well, and Telegram. It's been crazy posting everywhere, and TikTok. It's so weird being on TikTok. The magic one's turned into a pumpkin soon. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, waiting for Lynette's question. All right, let's take a look. Boom shakalaka. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Let's take a look at this. Cool. Both sun signs are in air, which is really good. That's definitely a harmonious connection when you have the sun in the same elements. That's good. That means you guys understand each other because you have the same element. So this is going to be two people who are able to communicate, talk about things, have fun. It's a fun energy for sure. That's with according to the sun. The moon, look at this. You guys both have moon in Virgo. So that's definitely synastry energy. You both feel in the same way. You understand each other the way you feel. The only thing that can be an issue is Virgo's very particular way of thinking and feeling. And so you guys may have your own different ways. And so you either see eye to eye or it like totally clashes, but it's in the same sign, which is actually really cool synastry point. Your Venus, which is what you truly desire in life. You have Venus in Scorpio and he's got Venus in Taurus. So that's actually a beautiful thing for synastry because this means that you have opposing energies. Taurus and Scorpio are opposing each other. So you are very drawn like magnets to each other. You desire the opposite because it's the opposite. And it's like, ooh, I'm curious. And so that draws you together. But that can be the fire that burns out quickly because then you realize, well, we're very different. You're very intense. You're also very intense with what you want and how you get what you want. He's much more stable and sensual. How do you get what you want? Mars in Scorpio is like, I'm going to get what I want and I don't care who I trample to get it. And I'm describing myself over here. I have Mars in Scorpio, but it's like, yeah, that's what I want. And I'm going to get that. Mars in Sagittarius for him he's much more of an adventurer. You're much more possessive. You can be very possessive in relationships and you have this intensity about you that can definitely intimidate people. But I think that that's something that he's drawn to. But his Mars in Sag means he's an adventurer. He needs to be able to take adventures. He needs to go explore. He needs to go expand his mind, expand himself. And the only way he can do it is to actually literally go have adventures. So he's very he could very possibly be like an outdoorsy kind of a person. For sure. Jumps around. He's everywhere. Mercury is how you guys communicate. So depending on where your Mercury is, that's going to tell you whether you have good communication or whether communication is challenging. So you have Mercury in Libra and he's got Mercury in Gemini. So that's harmonious. Again, both air signs. So you guys can have conversations for hours. You can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and keep each other company. That's actually really fun. That's awesome. And then in terms of Chiron, your healing journey, you have Chiron in Taurus. So you are learning to heal your maybe a lack of self-esteem. Maybe you're learning about values and how to value things. Maybe you feel like people haven't valued you. Maybe you feel like you're not worth something. So you're learning your worth in life. He is learning who he is and why he's here. It's like an identity crisis for him. Those are just your healing journeys. So as long as you can help each other through those journeys, you're good. You have the support, right? And then this is the interesting thing. This is a very karmic relationship because you have North Node Virgo, South Node Pisces. He's got North Node Virgo, South Pisces, South Node, Virgo. So this is very karmic because this is what happens. You guys definitely have a soul contract. And the reason I say that is because he's here to live spirituality. He's here to have a spiritual journey. You're here to let go of your spiritual journey and to be more in the moment. He's here to let go of the need to control and the moment and have perfection and be so focused and anchored that he forgets his spirituality. You understand that already. You've done that already. So he feels drawn to you. It's like a magnet. He feels drawn to you because you've had spiritual journeys in the past. That's where you come from, but that's where he's going. So you're like a great teacher to him. And the same thing for him. He's a great teacher to you because you tend to get stuck in the abyss and not come down and not come out. And you need to come back down to earth. And he knows that. The only problem is this, that the reason why this is karmic is because if you basically, you activate his past and he activates your past. So even though there's definitely a beautiful, like, we teach each other, you also take each other back to the place where you're kind of not supposed to go. You're supposed to let go of the South Node and move into the North Node. So how long, the question is, can you find your purpose outside of him? Like, he may feel stuck. Can you find your purpose even though you're like all up in his karma? And can he find his purpose even though that's all up in your karma? This is an intense karmic connection. So there's a soul contract, and you'd have to do like a Akashic reading or Akashic journey to find out what is the soul contract that you guys have. And is it is it a long-term thing, or is it like at one point are you going to go your separate ways because you're done helping each other and then you guys have opposite destinies? That's what I got for you. Super interesting too. All right. So, thank you guys so much. I get exhausted by the end of the night. Thank you all so much for being here. I so appreciate all of you guys. When shall I be back? I'm going to be back on Monday. So I hope that you have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy it. And I will be back on Monday with the Starseed channel weekly reading. I can't wait for tomorrow, Moon Goddess training. We're going to have an amazing day together. And I'll see you guys all very soon. Sat Nam.